Against TCU, we really just had a full team effort. Everyone played well. We cut down on our errors immensely from a couple of the matches before, and served really tough, passed really well, and then everybody was hitting well. So when you got those three things going, it's tough to defend a team when they have all aspects kind of rolling at the same time. And we felt like that was about as good of a match as we could put together. Now we feel like we'll grow and get better, but at this point I think that's about as good as we can play.
Prior to that, you played LSU and Oklahoma and played them pretty tough. Do you think that those two matches really helped set you up for that one? Did you see improvement from those two to that TCU match?
Sure. We went into and played at Oklahoma earlier in the week and came out really kind of flat. They beat us pretty good that first game, but then after that we bounced back. We're up 22-21 in the second game and allow them to end it on a 4-point run. We're down 5 or 6 in the third game. Come back and win the game, which gave us a lot of confidence, and then the fourth game was neck and neck for a while until they went on again another little run and pulled away from us. But we left that match feeling pretty good about ourselves. A little down that we didn't at least carry it on to the fifth game, if not win it. So that was a good feeling. And then coming back and playing LSU first thing in the TCU tournament, they're ranked 21st in the nation. And first two games are 25-20. Basically that's two plays. Two plays each game flips the score, and we're up 2-0 on a team that's a top 25 team. Now they're very good. We would have to absolutely play as well as we could play to beat them. They're a good team. They're going to have a solid chance of definitely winning the SEC West and a shot probably at the overall. But those two matches together really gave us a lot of confidence, and I think once you play the top level a few times and you hang with them, win or lose, especially winning definitely gives you a ton of confidence, but even losing and it being close, the factor of being intimidated is just kind of gone. And I think by the time we got to TCU, our third big match of the week, I think the girls just kind of weren't intimidated anymore, and then we came out and played really well from the get-go.
With playing so many young players, do you think that whenever you're starting out, there's a pretty steep learning curve? So can you tell a marked difference in their performance from the Wyoming tournament to start the season and at TCU?
Sure. Yeah, I think I think everybody, as a team with the new team members, and then even our returners having to get used to that too. I think we've just grown, and these freshmen have been put in a situation that even the 4 years before players haven't been put into, where they're playing against this top level competition, and you're either going to grow really fast or you're going to look like a deer in the headlights and look really bad. And I think for the most part, they've done really well, and it's just been fun over the last 2 weeks to watch us grow as a team, and our level, it just keeps increasing, and it's always that question mark, after you come back from a season where you've been so successful, and I think it's really a fun thing for our program, getting off the subject a little bit, really fun for our program, because I feel like the good programs just come back each year and are competitive. Mm-hmm. We're not going to always go 27-3, but if we're competing with these, top 40 teams like we are, then we're going to be competitive in the conference, and we're going to have a shot at the NCAAs every year. So that's really what we're just trying to build towards. We really want to make this program a top 40, top 50 type program year in, year out.
We talked about the freshman a second ago, and a sophomore, Taylor Hammonds, Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Week. I guess she had a pretty good showing down there.
Sure, hit over 300 against Oklahoma, and then carried that on into the weekend. just really was on fire against TCU, which we needed her to be. And we're going to need her to have a big year for us to be successful. Not going into the, who we played the week before, but, Jessie Hayes was Offensive Player of the Week before that, too. So we've had, in the first 2 weeks, we've had the Offensive Player of the Year, Player of the Week both weeks. And what's weird is we don't feel like we've even come close to tapping into our potential. Our hitting percentage is down from last year, and some other stats are a little bit below where we were last year. So it's pretty encouraging to play this high of a level of ball and still have players in the conference getting awards.
Another pretty tough looking test coming up this weekend with the tournament at Western Kentucky. A few quality teams in that. Just talk a little bit about who you're going to be facing over there.
Sure. We open up with Virginia Tech, and I think they've only lost one so far this year. I can't remember exactly what they've done, but they have the core of their team back. They're going to definitely be a tough one right off the bat. Tennessee Tech went to the NCAA tournament out of the Ohio Valley, I think 2 years ago. So that's going to be a solid program to play. Turn right back around the next morning to play Missouri, who could possibly be the best team on our schedule. They have, I believe, 6 seniors back from a team last year that made it to the NCAA tournament. So they're going to be tough. And then close with Western Kentucky at Western Kentucky. They've been in the top 3 in the Sun Belt, which usually gets 2 or 3 bids every year since I can remember. And he does a really good job with this program. And it's just exciting to get the challenge of playing all these programs. And 4 years ago, we would have never even attempted something like this because it would just have embarrassed us. And at this point, we feel like we're going to be competitive in every match. Now, how we do there is going to be definitely up to how we play. And we're not going to win any of the matches based on talent. We're going to have to play like we did against TCU, if not a little bit better. And this will be a good tune-up weekend to get ready for conference coming up next week.
You mentioned next week. You guys finally get to play at home after being on the road for 3 or 4 weeks to start the season. I guess that's something you're all looking forward to, is being home. And once you get home, you're staying home for a little while, so that's something you definitely got to be excited about.
Sure. I think we have a 3-week homestand coming up, and that doesn't happen very often. And so 3 weeks on the road, then turn around 3 weeks at home. Hopefully we'll play well enough this weekend to put us in a good position to make a nice run, over the next 3 weeks. We open up with Northwestern at home next Thursday, and they look to be an improved team. And we know that we're going to get the best match from everybody in the conference. I think we've won 22 in a row or so in the conference. So our first loss in the conference, that team gets to put that little star up that they were the ones that knocked us off. So, this weekend's all about taking the level up as a team, and then the focus changes a little bit next week to more, like the second stage of the season where it's conference time, and we need to position ourselves to be a good seed in the tournament and be playing our best ball when that tournament comes around. And also Memphis coming in next week. We've never beat them. Get to play them on a Friday night at home. Of course, we want everybody to come out next week. We've got recruits coming in next weekend, it'll be a good recruiting weekend for us. There's a home football game, and there's new seats in our gym, more seating for everybody to come on in, and we're expecting some good crowds, some good rowdy crowds, and we want to keep this conference streak alive, and we want to go undefeated at home this year.